Hi, I'm Joe Maggiore with Desert Dimensions Properties. A lot of clients ask me, how much money do I actually need to put down in order to buy this home? And really there's a couple of different answers there, but for a lot of clients, usually the clients that are asking me that question are FHA buyers, and those are people that are traditionally, they're buying their first home. And what I try to explain to those people is FHA is a fairly flexible program. Usually the reason that most people want to do FHA financing is because it's the least amount of money that's required to be down. That's 3.5% of your purchase price. So $100,000 purchase would be $3,500, $200,000 purchase would be $7,000. That is the minimum amount of money that's required to come in order for FHA to fund that loan. What that means is the closing costs and loan origination fee and appraisal fees and a lot of the other things that tend to get rolled in, oftentimes you get the seller to pay for most of those expenses for you. Now, if you go to a traditional purchase or something where you've got a buyer that's doing conventional financing, typically that's a larger down payment. That's usually 10% right now. There are some programs that might let you get it 5%, and then there's others where people choose to do 20%. But if you're a traditional buyer who's using a conventional financing loan, and you come in with 10%, you're going to have your 10% of your purchase, and then it's much more difficult in conventional scenarios to get that closing cost concession. So really most of the time that somebody's using conventional financing, they should be budgeting for probably between about 2 and 3% of their purchase price in closing costs. So you take that same buyer in a $200,000 purchase and they're doing conventional financing, they're going to have their 10%, so they're going to need $20,000. Plus, they'll probably need to budget for about another 3%, so that's going to be an extra $6,000. It's $26,000, and then give or take that, maybe $800, $900, maybe $1,000 for those other outside of escrow fees. So that same conventional scenario with 10% down, you're probably coming in with closer to $27,000. And then you can get into programs where you bring in much more than that. But really these days it tends to be either FHA, which is 3.5%, or conventional, which is 10%. FHA, you can get a lot of assistance with your closing costs. Conventional, not so much. And then with either scenario, you're going to have probably about $800 to $1,000 for home inspection and appraisal. So it kind of gives you an idea, and it lets you know what you need to have saved up in the bank before you really go out and start shopping, regardless of your finance or monthly payments or anything like that. And that's it. That's what you need to buy a house. I'm Joe Maggiore with Desert Dimensions Properties.